Now, according to the White House, top U.S. military generals have been instructed by President Joe Biden that they should not stop at anything to make Afghanistan's ISIS affiliate pay for the 13 U.S. service members' deaths. And we are now being joined by former U.S. National Security Council Chief of Staff and CIA analyst Fred Fields. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. How do you assess the situation on ground? The withdrawal has been completed, yet there are Americans still in Afghanistan wanting to leave.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. I'm happy with the way this turned out, that the final days of the withdrawal did not result in violence or loss of life. I was worried about the final planes taking off from the airport. It looks like the Taliban kept its commitment to secure the airport and work with U.S. forces as we withdrew. But I'm very concerned. The Taliban is a terrorist organization.
Right.
I don't believe it's going to keep these commitments to the U.S. and the international community long term. There already are stories of people who collaborated with the United States being executed, even being hung from helicopters in Kabul.
Right.
I think it is only a matter of time until Afghanistan returns to the brutal medieval society that the Taliban previously ran in the country. And I think it's going to be pretty horrible.
Right, so interesting that you mentioned that. I was just going to come to that. The Biden administration has been criticized for its chaotic withdrawal, and Antony Blinken, on the other hand, has assured that they are in contact with the Taliban to ensure safe evacuations of those still wanting to leave. How do you assess these statements?
Well, I've been very critical of President Biden. He suddenly withdrew from Afghanistan without a plan, without consulting with the Afghan army or the Afghan military or U.S. allies. And things deteriorated so quickly, we were forced to forge a partnership with the Taliban, a terrorist group that's been trying to kill American soldiers for 20 years. I think the Taliban has its own agenda. It would like to get access to foreign reserves. It needs help running the country. But I think it's going to quickly tire of working with the United States. And I don't think the things that Antony Blinken has said about the U.S. relationship with the Taliban are quite accurate.
All right, so also he's even reiterated that the U.S. stance is cleared the stance, in fact, saying any support will have to be earned by the Taliban. How do you see the situation evolving now with the diplomatic operations also now being shifted to Qatar? How effective do you think this will be in ensuring communication?
I think short term, the United States will have a relationship with a number of Gulf states and other nations who have maintained a diplomatic presence in Kabul to help American citizens get out. But I think the Biden administration is simply going to turn its back on Afghanistan. It's going to withdraw. It's going to simply stop its relationship, its communication with the Taliban. Joe Biden wants to focus on domestic issues. And I think once he's withdrawn from Afghanistan, we're not going to see a relationship between the U.S. government and this country for the immediate future.
All right, sir. Mr. Fred Fields, thank you so much for joining us with all your inputs on that. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.